G'day guys, I've already filmed an intro for this video, but during the filming of this video we did hit 10,000 subscribers, so I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel. 10,000 people subscribed to my channel of me working on cars in my driveway, and it's something I never thought would happen to me. Don't know how I did it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So we'll get into the video now, guys. Thank you so much. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video on how to destroy and ruin Patrol. So in today's video, I thought, fuck it, let's fix this Patrol. And here she is sitting here. She's sat here for about a week now, thinking about how much of a potato gem she's been. And it's been about a week since I since I've edited the last video, and I thought, fuck it, let's fix it. Stop being a little bit of a whinger and wuss, and let's fix it. One thing I hated about having the Patrol sitting here was I couldn't get the Skyline or the 180 out because it was in the way, plus the engine of the Patrol was here. So I'm gonna do some musical cars moving around. So I'm going to move the VL. I'm gonna put the VL back where it used to be, which is in there where the 31 is now, and I'm going to put the Patrol in this corner here. That way I can work on it, get the box out, and still get the 180, the Skyline, and the other Skyline out while this is getting worked on, so I don't have to compromise any car being stuck. So had a bit of a think about it, and you know, I think that rear main plate, when I've installed it, I haven't siliconed it right or something, and yeah, at least now I just got to pull the gearbox out and just drop it on the ground. I have to pull it right out. So I'm just going to unbolt the transfer case from the back, drop that, then drop the box, and then once I drop the box down, I can actually get to the clutch and flywheel and plate. Yeah, I don't have to move anything like crazily out of the way. Just got to literally pull it out, drop it, and then do this rear main plate, and see exactly where it's leaked from as well. Hopefully it has leaked from there, because I'm 100% speculating. Had a look at the Welsh plugs at the back of the head as well, and yeah, they're all good, and I guess they'll leak coolant anyway. So enough blabbing, let's start moving some cars and get the missus to help push this, and get these Skylines out, get the Patrol out in the street, move these cars around. Even though she's dead, she still roars right into life. Power steering still a bit whiny. I'll move her out the way and start moving the Skylines. Alright, got the R32's cover off, so we're going to pull him out now, get it off the grass. This is the joy in having all these cars in the yard here, is if I've got to move them around, I've got to sort of, yeah, as you can see. But at least I got the room. I'm pretty stoked about that. Should have a bit more room soon, guys. Not as wide open as this, but you know, they'll all be enclosed now. Starter motor gets a bit sticky. There we go. Lovely. I'll move her out, and then hopefully the 31 starts. I haven't started that in a while. Well, she's out. She's out of her cover. She's so dirty. Needs a good clean. Looking like a barn find now. Alright, let's get her out. Oh my god. She never disappoints, doesn't she? Hasn't been started in months. Hello. Alright guys, so a little bit of an update. This is the little spot where the Patrol is going to go. So I've pushed the VL out now. Last time I moved the VL, it had no handbrake, so I had to keep moving a brick in front of it, but now it's got the handbrake, so a bit easier to move now. Get a look at the VL, guys. There she is. She's beautiful, isn't she? Well, it still doesn't fucking work, but have a look at this side, the side that never really gets seen. Alright, so yeah, it's going to go back in the hidey hole. I've just been sweeping up a bit because it was so much leaves and dirt here. I'll wait for the missus to come out because she's in a work meeting at the moment. And then she's going to help me push it back into its little hidey hole and get the Patrol in this corner. That way I can get this car and the Skylines in and out. I'll bring you back when we've got it pushed back, and Bub's your auntie. Well guys, it is the next day here, and it's a beautiful day. You can see we got all the cars moved around. So I got the VL over there now, where we initially had it, you know, like a year and a half ago. I got the 32 here, 31 in front of me, and a Patrol in this corner now. Got the trolley jack in front of it, the pallet jack. And I got my little creeper there, getting ready to so first today I'm gonna take the drive shaft off and take the exhaust off and all that shit. It shouldn't be too hard because I literally did it like last week. So yeah, exhaust off, tail shaft off, and then cross member off. Just got to unbolt the extractors so the engine can tilt backwards, and then start attacking bell housing bolts, I'll take the interior apart. So like doing the gearbox side of it versus the engine like we did last time, the engine takes much longer to do because there's more to disconnect, but it is like a bit easier lifting wise. But the gearbox will be faster to disconnect, but then take the transfer case off and all that stuff's going to be pain. I've got the engine crane. I'm going to put the engine crane through, at least I'll put it over this side this time so the engine crane can go through the passenger door, so the driver's door, because steering wheel, and we'll strap it around the engine crane. We'll put the jack underneath it, we'll strap it to the jack and make sure it's all safe. All right guys, so I've been smashing 80s music and fucking sent it, so pretty much the box is almost out. I've got the crane sitting in here. I've just been going ham. I have work soon, so I've just been like smashing it. But yeah, because I did this once before, I sort of know. Have a look in here. We've got the engine crane through the shifter hole, got a chain around the box, got a jack underneath the bell housing as well, be safe, and another jack stand there just to catch the box if it does fall. I don't want to put too much pressure on that input shaft, and because last time we tried to get it out, the adapter plate broke, even though now it's braced, but I just don't want to break it again. Everything's ready to come out. We'll get you under there and have a look where we are at the moment. This header's still bolted in, that one's not. But this one I think we might be able to leave in, depending how far over there that rear drum's going to hit that cross member, but hopefully the box should drop below that. Yeah, we've got this far out, and I've still got plenty of tension on that crane, so I'll let tension off and see if that box will slide further back, and we'll try and maneuver it. Hopefully it doesn't get jammed in the tunnel like last time, but hopefully we can pitch the engine on a bit more of an angle than last time. Oh, what a mess this driveway is. But good news guys, she's out. Now, it wasn't too bad this time compared to the first time, because I knew sort of how to do it this time. Mostly the hardest part is rotating the box about 90 degrees just to clear the starter, the hump for the starter in the bow housing gets jammed. We got through that, engine tilted back nice. I actually didn't have to unbolt these headers. Usually I do, I only had to do the other side because it crosses over the rear bow housing bolt. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I got it on the pallet jack here, just sitting there, and yeah, just shimmied it with the engine crane and the jack on the front of it, and just sort of kicked it from the transfer. But when I put it back together, I'm going to take the transfer off, put the transfer on separate. So I'll put the box on first and the transfer on separate. That's what I did last time. I was going to film it, but you guys have seen me do it before in the last video when I took the gearbox out. So I'm going to work in like an hour, so I'm not going to worry about taking the clutch and flywheel and stuff off. So what I'll do is tomorrow, because I know you guys are hanging to see what's going on, but actually have a look. You can see how much oil, I don't know if you can see on camera, look how much oil is in that bell housing. Oh God. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll come back and we'll undo the clutch, flywheel, take the adapter plate off, and see what the go is with the rear main. I'm really eager to see where it's leaked out of that plate. But we'll be back tomorrow. Now I've got to clean up. Alright guys, we are in, and I'm on my phone because the GoPro makes some weird fucked up noises when I touch things, and I thought we'll get the phone out because we've got the light, camera light, and we can see how oily it is. What about in there? Oh yeah, look at the oil. Look at the oil in there. Also have a look at the bell housing of the trans, how oily it is in there. So definitely that rear plate or seal. I've had a look up the top there. I don't know if you can see it, but the Welsh plug up there isn't leaking. So all I've got to do now is undo these bolts for this engine, or not engine, this adapter plate. Also up here, this groove right here, this little groove is where my starter hump on the trans always gets stopped. So once this adapter plate's off, I'm going to give this a bit more of a whack in here. You can see it's been whacked right out to fit the trans. So I'm going to give it more of a whack just to give us some more clearance as well. But I'll pull this off, pull the clutch off, and also the flywheel, and we'll see what's going to be the surprise in here. Here we go guys, here's the back of the engine, and there's our leak. So you can see there's our spigot, and there's the rear main. You see where I've RTV'd it. That's weird. So I don't know if it's pissing out of the bottom of the plate, because I don't know if that oil is actually coming out of the seal or not. Now a lot of you did say in the last video that maybe it's got a groove in the crank, maybe to space the seal out just a little bit more. So when I take that seal off, I'll just feel for any groove. As you can see, it is brand new. 2 bolts down here, pull the plate down and seal it at the bottom, and then you torque these ones up. So yeah, it's a bit odd. I don't know, it looks like it's come out of the seal, but at the same time, hard to say. Usually it would just sort of drip down, but then obviously it sort of made its way to both sides. I don't know if it's been leaking out of the side of the plate as well. Maybe I didn't RTV it the best. You can see the oil that's on the flywheel. Clutch is good, and there's the adapter and the sandwich plate and our double input shaft here. So yeah, it's very interesting. So I think what I'm going to do now is unbolt this plate and have a better look inside, see what's going on. All right guys, now I've pulled the plate off and all the oil is going in there, and you can see gasket's off. I've got the gasket over there somewhere. There it is on the floor over there. A bit of like scratching here. Where's my finger? There. Actually, you can't even feel that. Yeah, let's have a look at the crank. Is there a bit of a groove? Oh yeah, a little bit of a groove. Yeah, there's a bit of a groove there, but that's really far in. I think the seal sits further out. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying that if there's a groove in the crank, it can leak. Get a thicker gasket and space the plate out a little bit so it just catches the better surface on that machined area. Still interesting why it just pierced out so much. The other seal, it just leaked a little bit. This one pierced out. So I'm thinking, like, I think it's leaked around the side here. Yeah, it definitely has. I don't think it was sealed very well. Completely my fault. I'm thinking of what I'm going to do. I might just order a new rear main just to be safe, because we have taken this one off. I don't want to damage anything. And then we'll clean this surface up real good. Someone's gone to town with removing it before me. Look at that. Look at all those scratches. You're not supposed to do that. You literally just unbolt it. And a lot of people forget about the 2 bolts at the bottom, and then they try and prime off and snap. Someone's definitely fucked that one up. All right, guys, so I've just sat the plate back on the back there, and you can see that seal sits way far away from that groove that we could feel. It's right at the back of that machined collar on the crank. Well, that's good though. So this is without the gasket too, so it's obviously going to sit a little bit further forward on that. We can get a side view, so you can see we're going to sit right out here with the gasket plus RTV. So I don't think that's our problem. I think the seal is okay. If we take the plate off, have a look. That groove I can feel is this black one at the back there. It looks like there's a groove at the front here, but I can't feel anything. See, my nail doesn't bite on anything. My nail does bite on the one at the back, but the front here, nothing. I think that was just me not sealing it properly, guys, to be completely honest. I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna line the whole thing with RTV. I remember the first time I did the whole thing with RTV and the bottom. Not crazy amount, just enough to seal it, and that sealed it really nicely. It didn't leak at all. So I think I'll order another one. Just in case this one has some sort of failure. I think this one's okay, but I might just even leave it as a spare. I'll order another one, we'll whack it on. So we'll bring you back when the new seal's in. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do some cleaning. I'm gonna clean in here. I've already given the clutch and flywheel a clean out there. And I'm just gonna clean all in here too, all these cavities in here, make sure this is nice and clean. And I'll do all that now. Yay. Alright guys, so it's a few days later and we have our new seal and gasket. Our new rear main plate, seal, gasket, rear main, looking schmick. I bought the black silicon, the one we used the first time, not the red. The red was the high temp. This one is the oil resistant. So I'm gonna remember to RTV around the gasket and all around the bottom here. And I've cleaned the block. I just gotta take the old plate off. I've cleaned as much as I can out of the bottom of the plate where there was silicon. And we're gonna silicone it, not too much obviously, because we want it to seat nicely. Silicone it enough that it seals, and got all the bolts here. Got Loctite for them. Get the torque wrench, torque them up, and then what I'm gonna do is actually unbolt the transfer from the back. Drop the transfer off the back, that way we can just lift the box itself up. Relocate that chain a little bit more to the center, distributes the weight a bit better. I don't know where the hell I put the clutch fork actually, I'm trying to find that. All right, let's get into it. So there's the old plate, I just removed from the back of the engine. Nothing wrong with that plate. I'm gonna keep that as a spare. Even that's probably perfect for the VL as well. Oh shit, guys! I put the freaking rear main plate on and forgot the gasket. No, I'm just kidding. I did it all properly. So here we have the flywheel. I just got it out of the boot. It has a little bit of like rust on it. I think there's moisture getting into the boot because it's been raining the last few days. So I'm just gonna give it a quick little nice sand. We've got our wrench here that just talks a lot of bullshit, and we're gonna get the flywheel bolts and we're just gonna put some Loctite on them. Yes, I'm gonna reuse the flywheel bolts. Please don't yell at me. I am only small, and we're going to get our flywheel bolts, which are over there somewhere. Put some Loctite on them, do the same thing we did last time, but this time hopefully it works and doesn't spit oil everywhere. Give the flywheel a nice clean because it was covered in oil. I've marked on the flywheel somewhere where the clutch was. I don't know, it's on, there it is on the top there. And I lined up the clutch just so it all lines back up together, the weight come off, and we'll put it in. So once that's all done, literally just gotta lift the box in and send it. And then we'll do some fucking skids. Celebrate that 10,000, do a big skid, and then watch me blow something, a rear axle diff or something. Alright guys, so I got the phone back under here and we've RTV'd. I put a bit there, not too much that it just like gulps, but everything's loose. I got the bolts in the bottom there. Just clean the threads on the top. Also just wound all these in and got my Loctite down there somewhere. And we just Loctited the ends of all these bolts, just ran them in. Just they're not even in there, just sort of ran in. Lubricated the seal a little bit just so it was happy when I pushed it on. It's all gone on really well. I did RTV around the bottom, but a little bit around the whole gasket. You can see a little bit there on the side there. So at least now we can run a little bit under the plate there, sort of around the back. I could have RTV'd around the old plate and just like sent it, but I just wanted to take it off and do it again. properly. I'm gonna torque the bottom bolts first because that'll push the seal down, or the plate down, and seal it at the bottom, and then we'll torque all the other bolts down. All right guys, we're all done. So torque them all up, torque the bottom bolts up, and ran just a little bit of silicone at the bottom. It doesn't look very nice, but it's giving me a little bit more ease of the mind. I am going to let that set for a bit. I'm gonna whack the flywheel on, torque the flywheel up again, whack the clutch on, torque the clutch up again, and I'm down here. Hello everybody. I did put a little bit of lube on it just so it sits on there nicely and doesn't, you know, when the crank spins the first time, it's not dry. Another thing I'm gonna do is just tuck this wiring out of the way so we don't catch it with this fucker. I still gotta split the transfer. Woohoo. Oh guys, sometimes I wish I had the tripod in here recording. I literally can't fit anything in here, it's so hard, but I literally picked up the flywheel, went to sit on the back of the engine, and in my head I've gone, oh, make sure I haven't forgot anything, make sure I haven't forgotten anything, and then I just screamed out loud, sandwich plate! And as I screamed sandwich plate, I went to the back and grabbed the sandwich plate, and then now I can put the flywheel on. It was just funny because I just screamed sandwich plate at the top of my lungs. I didn't actually realize the sandwich plate sits up with all the bolt holes in the rear, mate. I actually didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I got the sandwich plate on, and now I can put the flywheel on. Another thing I was checking up there, guys, making sure no oil leaks. It is moist, but it's not leaking any oil out of the pressure. That's a sensor, oil pressure sensor, I think, or sender, or switch, or I fucking don't know. And the cast, it's a bit moist up there, so I'll just give that a bit of a wipe before we get back into it. And we'll just put the flywheel on now. Lucky I put the sandwich plate on. There's so many times I've forgotten to put that on and whack the flywheel on. All right, guys, so a bit of an update. We've got the clutch on and the flywheel. Torqued them all up. So the flywheel bolts go up to 100 Newton meters and the clutch bolts go up to 70. Everything torqued down perfectly. Actually a lot better than last time for some reason. The torque range I think was playing it last time, but this time it's perfect. So the best thing about it is this input shaft here. This secondary shaft that goes on the end of the gearbox is a perfect clutch aligning tool. And it goes straight into the spigot, and yeah, you can literally line the clutch up, and I can leave that shaft in there and put the gearbox in there later. And also a big thanks to one of the subscribers that told me about the spacing on the pivot ball, and that was to space it for the Mark's conversion, which, you know, is obviously the case because it's different throw to the standard Nissan throw-up bearing that would usually be back here. We've kept the spacing as it should be on this pivot ball, our brand new pivot ball. So now that everything's in, tomorrow we can put this gearbox in. I'll undo the transfer and we'll get the gearbox in and ready to bolt up. I'll bring you back tomorrow, guys. Well, guys, thought I'd get a head start today, and I've been wrestling this gearbox in there for a few hours now. I just can't get it to line up. This is what happened last time. It was just like no matter what I did, it kept getting stuck in the tunnel no matter what. I don't know how I did it last time. I think I just like kicked the shit out of it, and it worked. Yeah, I've just tried everything on my own. Of course, I'm always by myself working on cars. I'll show you the setup I've got at the moment. So we had a problem. I had the gearbox on a pallet jack, and it rolled off and dumped all its oil out on the floor. The gearbox isn't damaged, which is good. So I've got the trolley jack here, got a jack stand just at the front, just to support the front of the trans. We've got the chain up there, which is through the shifter hole. Got a rubber band in a bag on the back there to stop any more oil just pissing out. There's a transfer case on the floor. That was pretty easy to get off. But yeah, we're just getting stuck in the tunnel. I'll try to see if I can show you guys. Now, because of the spacing of the Mark's adapter, it just puts the gearbox far into the tunnel, and no matter what angle you have the gearbox on, it just gets jammed. You'll have the starter hump underneath, away from the top there. The starter hump's the worst, but once you rotate it, then the other hump on the other side gets stuck up in the tunnel. And I probably can't tell, but I'm running out of daylight. Of course, daylight savings just fucks everything up. But yeah, so I've tried everything today. I've wrestled it for a couple of hours and we're getting nowhere. Input shaft's getting close, but as soon as I get close, it either slips off the jack or it just jammed in the tunnel, or nonetheless. And we're fighting with the engine crane. The stand is in the way of the jack to slide forward, so it keeps slipping off the jack. It's just a whole fucking mess, especially trying to do it on your own. It's so hard. Last time I did it, I did have my missus help me. I did it on my own, but I had a lot more strength because I wasn't injured. So we'll see how we go. I'll bring you back if we get anywhere closer. If not, we might have to give it a break for a couple of days and just take our time with it. Maybe wait for someone to come give me a hand. All right, guys, it is another day, and we wrestled the gearbox in, and I got it in like freaking 6:30 last night, so it was pitch black. So you can see we're just about to have the transfer case in there. I've just got it sort of nearly mated there. I made a bit of a head start today because I got work in a couple of hours, but yeah, the gearbox was a pain. So what I actually ended up doing is it kept getting jammed. So up in the corner here, there's the old starter hump where the Nissan starter would bolt to. You can't really see it. And it just kept getting caught, and there was a whole bit of like excess material on that bow housing. So I cracked the shits, got the angle grinder and got rid of it. And yeah, and then once I got rid of that piece, obviously I kept a lot of metal on there just to keep the structural, you know, rigidity. But the LS starter bolts actually up to the bottom of the bow housing adapter. I ended up yeah, snipping that bit off, and the gearbox went up in there so much easier. I literally just had it on my stomach with the engine crane holding it up, and my missus was just under there as well, helping me just eye it up. And then once I got it onto the input shaft on there, I literally just kicked it from the back straight on. Bow housing bolts are all in. So we're nearly there. I just got to line it up, push it forward. The shifter's welded on there, you guys know, so she's poking through somewhere. There she is right there. So I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to fit with the shifter welded on there, but it managed to finesse it through. The bull bar is still not bolted on, so remind me to do that. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. Let's keep going, we're so close. So fucking close. Alright guys, it's been a couple of days later since our last clip. So I haven't worked on it in 2 days. One reason, because yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm an old bastard now. I'm very old actually. Turned the big 26 and I'm feeling it. I woke up the day before my birthday, and after I put that transfer and that gearbox in, my upper back just completely locked up. Like my back was fucked. I couldn't get out of bed. I'd take the day off work all day, the day before my birthday, in pain in bed. And then it was all right yesterday for my birthday. Back to working on the car now. So got all the day to do this. I went out and got some fluids before over there. So all I have to do now is bolt the tail shaft in, the front shaft onto the front of the transfer. Have a look under there. We've got everything sort of bolted in. I've got to put that handbrake cable, install that. I've got the cross member in, got to put the exhaust in, the starter, and we're ready to go. So hopefully we can get this thing running and driving today. So it is raining, as you can see. Of course, my luck. The rain is scheduled to fuck off very soon. So now that the engine is all sitting in there right, start doing those drive shafts, and then yeah, we'll dummy it all back together, and hopefully, I've tested the clutch, that works all well. I thought it slipped off the joint inside, but no, it's all doing its thing. And then yeah, then we'll kick it in the guts and see if she'll go for a drive without exploding or pissing out oil this time. Just dummied everything up off camera and got it ready to kick in the guts. So I just did the exhaust, it's pretty boring stuff, and the tail shafts, or drive shafts, front and rear, and the handbrake. And now I just topped up the oil, put these on. Hopefully nothing blows up. I know this is the part that you guys want to see. Hopefully when we start it, no oil just pisses out the back of the engine like last time. Oh my God, stop. Who is messaging me? Now I've left the interior part just in case I have to pull it back apart. Make sure it's not in gear. We've got a fuel pump, that's good. That's good. That's good, started right up. That's the genuine first start. Idling beautiful, or beautifully. Let's have a look, guys. That look dry? For now. Alright. I'm gonna back it up onto the street just to make sure the gearbox all works again, because we did have it out. And we'll see how we go. Now we'll just check if we got gears. First, that's good. Reverse, let's go backwards. Handbrake's off. All right, we're moving. Still got a, oh no, my transfer shifter almost fell out the car. All right, I was gonna pull onto the street, let it run for a bit and see if we got any leaks. I've still got to bleed the power steering. Ugh. All right, so let's have a look. That's about what, 10 minutes of running, guys. Not bad. Man, no matter how much you fucking do, this is always nerve-wracking when you've had a car apart and you've got to put it back together and then drive it after you've had everything apart. All right, the bull bar's still loose. I've got to tighten that, don't worry. I'm gonna double check the engine oil level. It's fucking bin night. All right, guys, so I quickly checked fluids. Engine oil is spot on. What else is there? We've got the gearbox oil, which is good. Yeah, we can go for a little bit of a drive now and just see how she all goes. Hopefully nothing explodes. Looking promising underneath, no leaks. I am shitting myself because I don't want to do this again. I really don't want to do this again. My biggest thing is I think that I have done this all to myself. Oh no, I know I've done this all to myself. When we put extra oil in the engine, the guy that built this car recommended to put a little bit more engine oil in the motor when you go out forbeing, just for the articulation, all that stuff, and the gnarly angles. And I think I put a bit too much, which spat the original seal out. Not didn't spit the seal out, but it was just pissing out. I think what I should have done is drain the oil level and see if that leak would have stopped. I think there was just too much oil in the engine. A lot of oil I found in the catch can as well. Now with another rear main on there that's installed correctly this time, hopefully we have no problems. And we'll see how the gearbox sounds also going around the block. There's a bit of smoke. I'm just going to shut the car off just in case. I think that's the oil burning off, but I'm just going to shut the car off just in case. We don't want any nasties. It's coming from this side. Let's just have a look under there quickly. Make sure nothing's actually on fire. I don't know if you can see the smoke. No, nothing I can see. Let's have a look inside the cab. Well, lucky I have a fire extinguisher. It's died down, so I'm just gonna go around the block quickly and see how we go. The car feels fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. Feels really good. Alright, nearly home. There's not much smoke. I think it's just shit burning off the exhaust. I think I've just got a bit of fucking anxiety. We'll park it up, see if we've got any oil leaks. Well, I saw this and shit myself, but that's water coming out from there because we've had a lot of rain. Let's get under there and have a looky look. See if it's any seepage, even if there's any seepage or anything. Wow, that's a good sign. That's about a lap of the block, I'd say. And the gearbox sounds really nice. It actually probably the best it's ever felt. Everything feels nice. The fucking clutch feels fantastic, guys. It feels amazing now. It feels the best it's ever felt since I've had the car. So I think that slave's been dying for a long time. Oh, one thing I just realized is the breather for the I forgot to put the breather. Goes on the fitting up the top there for the transfer case. So I'll try and shimmy that in while I'm under here. Alright guys, so it is the next day and I've just opened the garage, had a look underneath, and not a drop of oil, thank the Lord. So the remains all good, which is fantastic. So now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just button everything up. Still got to put all the airbox and everything on. Where's the keys? I'll open the bonnet. Good to have this thing moving again, so now I can put the Skylines back here. So we still got to put the airbox in there. I'm just going to go over all the wiring over there where it runs under the exhaust to make sure it's all secured. I don't want anything touching the exhaust. And yeah, take it for a bit of a bigger drive. It needs a freaking wash. It's covered in cobwebs. One thing I want to do as well is paint that roof rack because it looks like shit. So I'm going to get that roof rack off it somehow. Might need something to give me a hand to do that. Also, my spotlights and light bar don't work anymore. I want to hit the switch, so I've got to find out if we busted it. The fuse looks alright, so maybe the relay's gone. I'm not too sure. Also, I've got a light bar coming for the roof rack. It's going to go across there. It's kindly been sponsored for me, so that's going to be nice. I've got the mount, so I was going to put that on there. I think it's a 50-inch, so that should look good up there, up the top there, and hopefully it doesn't hit the snorkel. It shouldn't. So let's get. Oh, also, this is this is still loose, so I've got to tighten the bull bar up, and then yeah. It's raining today, but I really want to give this thing a clean because there's just spider webs all over it. Let's do some things. All right, so we've done some checks, all the wiring, tucked it all up, put the airbox on, put the interior back together. Beautiful, purrs like a kitten. I've double checked all the fluids. Snorkel's back on. Cold start. And we take it for a little bit of a bust, it'll warm up for a bit. We'll go around the block in it. Well guys, we're driving and car feels amazing. It's dead quiet now, like I can't hear the motor. I think because of the exhaust leaks up the front. We fixed that when we did the headers. Like it is dead quiet. Oh, it feels so good to be driving this car again. I know I said it last time and we pissed out fluid everywhere, but the car feels fantastic, best it's ever felt. So hopefully when it warms up, we'll feel that slave cylinder, and hopefully everything's all good. I can smell the header wrap. No smoke. I want to get it up to operating temp as well. So I'll do a couple more laps and I'll bring you back when we come back to the house. Woo! Wow guys, a couple of laps around the block and we are leak free. What a feeling. I haven't seen anything as of yet. Nothing's leaked as of yet except for my swivel hubs. Oh lovely. I've got to do them anyway when we do the front diff because we still got to get that axle out. But oh my god, it's so good to drive this thing. Fuck, it feels quicker. I don't know if it's because that throttle linkage stay that my mate made it a little bit more responsive. Fuck, it feels unreal. It actually feels grouse. It's so smooth. It's like driving a Holden Calais or something. It's just so dead quiet, smooth. This thing drives amazing. That's why I love this car. It's like having a Land Cruiser. Oh, all right. So what I'm going to do now, I do want to clean it up a bit, but let it cool off for a bit, just double check all the wiring is all good still, because I'm a bit paranoid about wiring over the exhaust header there. I'm just going to clean up the driveway because we made a fucking mess. Mum's not happy. Oh, she's not too impressed, but I'm going to give it a clean. Get the Skylines back up here, put the Patrol back here, and I'll bring you guys back when we bring up the driveway. Well guys, got her back in the driveway and all leak free. Very exciting. It's a bit muddy, so I got to give her a clean. I've got to go to work now. Don't have time to pressure wash today. Probably gonna get some rain anyway. So I'm very happy with today and much happier than the last video. We went through all that work of pulling the engine out and then come back to having to pull the gearbox out. So now, fingers crossed, all is well, and we can finally start to get her ready to go out in the bush again. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get that broken axle out of the axle housing, because that's still in there. So I've just been driving rear wheel drive for now. Obviously I haven't needed front wheel drive. Also got the Skylines here, guys. Just clean the driveway, gave it a wash, so pulled the Skylines in. Now I can finally drive this thing again and daily it around. I miss driving a big car. Been driving my little Hyundai over there. Yeah, so next video we'll do the axle, and I want to bed liner coat the roof rack up there. And hopefully by then we'll have our massive light bar to install up the top there, and it'll start looking a bit nicer. And then after that, I want to start doing some bar work. I want to start doing the scrub bars on this side, and hopefully get a rear bar sorted as well, do a rear bar. Eventually I want to change this guard, because this guard's pretty fucked. The hole that's been drilled out of it's much larger than what it needs to be, and the colour's mismatched and that. So I want to get a new guard and a new snorkel setup. That's all in the future. But I'm just so fucking happy that it drives. It drives the best it's ever driven ever since I've owned the car. It's smooth, its gearbox is smooth. Probably the oil as well that I added in, the smooth shift oil, and no noises, no squeaks from the thrust like it used to. Everything's all lubed up in there, and clutch feels amazing. The car drives excellent with the nice painted headers now, and exhaust leak fixed and wrapped headers, and yeah, it's good. Just little shit I wanted to do to it for a long time, and bloody keen. Bloody excited. One thing I want to do is put the other wheels back on it. I still got to find a set of nice fitting 33s with some bigger tyres. Might daily. These are the 33s, but they're just all-terrain tyres. They're pretty shit. Shit offset wheels. These are from my old GU, these wheels. So they got crap offset, so they sit almost in, so it looks like a tram, but we'll fix that shortly. I'll get some nice offsetted wheels and make it look a bit more presentable even on its daily sort of stance. But this car looks so good with the 36s on it, with the bead locks and the treps on it. And so I'm probably gonna end this video here because there's not much else for me to do to the car for now, and obviously I gotta go to work. So I just want to thank you all for hanging around and watching me. I don't know if this video is going to be long or short. I was sort of rushing through this one to get it done because I'm fighting time and moving and shit like that. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you've been enjoying this series. Hope this gets you off your bum and fix your own car, because yeah, that's my biggest thing here, is to try and motivate you guys to go and work on your own stuff and fix your cars. So get it done and come out with us for a 4-wheel drive session one day. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care everybody. Bye bye.